Hey, what's up, everyone? Happy New Year. We are already about a week into the new year as of this video. It's the sixth day of the month. Um, and now it's kind of like the time to reset and put into perspective some of the practices that a lot of other collectors, dealers, and things like that they do to prep themselves up for the year. Um, One of the things that's going on right now is the Florida United Numismatists show in Orlando. The biggest show to kick off the year is happening right now, and today's Saturday. It ends tomorrow. So today, probably one of the more busier days. I'd say Fridays and Saturdays at these bigger shows are definitely the days to go and take advantage of what's out there. And usually the bigger shows is going to have more dealers. More dealers means more inventory, more opportunity. I do extremely well at the bigger shows. I go and cherry pick coins, whether they're graded or not, for my own personal gain. And each and every single one of you ought to take that moment to really realize what we have coming up here at the beginning of the year. The window of possible explosion for a lot of you. All right, I want you guys to really think about this. It's going to be in about a week, about 7 to 10 days. Okay, that's going to be your open window, but that window, as quickly as it opens, will close pretty gradually. So listen here. The brand new 2024 coinage will begin to hit circulation right around then. All right. That timeline just keeps coming down. It used to be the end of January, used to be beginning of February with the new Lincoln cents, followed by whatever quarter is first on the lineup. These are things that if you understand the timelines for when these come out, then you could use it to your advantage. Now, when I say look out for these coins, okay, it's a little bit more planning that goes into that. All right, a lot of it, obviously, building the relationships with your tellers, your branch managers at the bank, is going to be paramount. Now, will every bank have the chance of seeing some of these brand new coins right off the rip? No, no, you have to be strategic. And, just like playing the lottery, okay, it's much easier to win the jackpot off of 10 tickets than it is with one. So, with that being said, when we go and approach this idea that these coins are going to be coming out right around now, we need to make some moves here because it can make the difference of you just sitting there not doing anything, especially new collectors. New collectors will appreciate this a lot more than some of the other veteran collectors like myself. I prefer to just sit back because, it's a hustle. This part of the game at the beginning of the year is always a hustle. It's like being a car salesman. It's always a hustle at the beginning of the month. Getting out with a quick start is important for people that depend on the full commission wages. Same way that goes for a lot of new collectors that don't necessarily have a lot of capital to utilize to get into the hobby in a big way, especially if you're making some power moves to make some quick instant money, to make a lot of it. This is where a lot of you will come in. So develop your relationships with your local banks. Me personally, I would kind of toss in this idea of utilizing smaller banks, credit unions, things like that. Also with the bigger banks, because you never know who's going to receive their allocation first for the brand new 2024s. So with that being said, utilizing those bigger banks where you have the opportunity to take advantage of an institution that does a lot more merchant services, where they're constantly filtering through a lot of coin and a lot of paper money for those merchants that have small to medium-sized businesses in your area. Those are going to be the banks that have the best shot at receiving some of the new coin. Because again, it's all about the allocation process. And believe it or not, banks do have an allocated process too. The more coin that you filter through, because you do a lot more merchant services, the more ability that you have to order more coin. And I know there's a lot of talk about how cryptic you need to be when you go into a bank about how to ask for these. Just go ahead and ask. Do you have any of the brand new 2024 coins? I'm kind of a hobbyist, you know. Do you have any? And then they'll tell you, well, we did just receive these. Do you want to take a look at that box? And use that to your advantage. You don't have to be all secretive or anything like that. I would probably keep out the fact that you could take these boxes, turn around and flip them to $300-400 a piece through the first week. Probably keep that in your back pocket. But just go out and just point blank ask, do you have any of the 2024 Lincoln cents? And then lead off with that. And, they'll certainly keep an eye out for it, for you. If you had developed a pretty strong relationship at this point, then, that's something that's going to be a lot easier for you. That conversation, just the word tracks, is going to be a lot more easier for you. But again, this is all grind. It's a hustle. This is something that you're going to have to do, maybe with 4, 5, 6 banks or more. Because the idea is you want to be able to get as much inventory as possible to sell for the next 14 days after they drop. And that is, ladies and gentlemen, your window. Your window is going to be about 10 to 14 days where you're going to realize a maximum amount of money for these brand new 2024 coins. And whatever it may be, it could be the new Lincoln cents, which, by the way, has the best possible rate of return. All right. And you go from there. Nickels, dimes, I'd probably try and avoid. They don't really pay that well for brand new inventory because nobody really searches them. Quarters are always good because there's always kind of that prospect of errors and varieties with quarters from what we've seen in the last 3-4 years. It's something that a lot of people do expect. They want to look for that next big hitter, the quarters. And we're in the middle of a series right now with these American women quarters. There's going to be a number of releases this year where you could take advantage of that. Just think, every time a new American woman quarter comes out this year, it's like hitting that reset button each and every single time. So the moment it drops is going to be your prime opportunity for you to capitalize on it, whether that's reselling the rolls or boxes or cracking them open and being one of the first people to look for something great out of them. Because individual coins, they could sell for $5-10 a piece, depending on what they look like, whether it's a strike through or a clash or something like that, or they could be hundreds of dollars. Okay, kind of like what we've seen with the Extra V Lincoln cents last year, which kind of allows me to go into my next topic, and that's these Extra V Lincoln cents, which have been kind of a controversial, sorry, I can't even say the word right, coin as of late. But the coins have incredible secondary market staying power. A lot of that is attributed to the fact that these coins are attributable as a variety. And because of that, your big grading companies like PCGS and NGC and even Annex are recognizing these coins as Extra V varieties. Now, there was a pretty substantial sale on Stack's Bowers, okay, that just realized on an NGC Mint State 68 red example that sold for $780. That's the kind of money you would expect for some of the higher end coins, but coins that grade out about 66, which has been kind of that average grade for these coins, are still selling in the neighborhood of $150 to $200. So if you find a coin or you buy one off eBay for $30, you spend however much it is to submit them to these grading companies. Me personally, I would probably use NGC or PCGS in this matter. Make sure it's attributed with Extra V on there, so you might have to pay for the attribution for it. Then you could essentially, at the low end, make about $80 to $100 per coin. Now, the secret sauce here with these is that you're going to be submitting these in quantity. So however that looks like, whether you're submitting 5, 10, 15, 20, or more. And the more that you get back, the more that it's going to be advantageous, the more money that you're going to see come out of it at the end. Don't try and do this if you're just going to send off one or two. If you got some extra capital lying around that you could dedicate into a kind of flip opportunity, this one is still really alive. And we're in 2024. The coin is essentially a year old at this point because the date is different. But I can't help but stress the importance of utilizing current trends to have things go your way financially in the near future. And whether that's trying to deal with your own personal finances or advancing yourself into the hobby where you allow yourself to maybe get into other opportunities, like maybe doing a seller platform on Whatnot, building your eBay platform to a whole new level. That is going to be some of the things that is going to occur when you do some of these best practices of recognizing what is hot and true to the market at that moment in time. Because the internet world, the world that we live in, we live on moments, okay? One moment, something good happens, and then we kind of shift and transition into the next moment. And just when you think you can enjoy this moment over here, it's over in a flash. So having your mind and head on a swivel in this hobby is something that is not only a great attribute to becoming a reseller or a dealer or whatever you want to construe this business or this hobby to be to your life, or an advanced hobbyist, a numismatist, where you're having the afforded opportunity to get into some much more pricier high-end coins, all because you developed this foundation at the very beginning. I'd like to use a little bit of a success story. All right, this past year, 2023, I've been selling on the platform Whatnot, but I've had the opportunity to have a little bit of a chat with another seller on the platform. He goes by the name of A. Valentine. He started over the summer, I think in June. Had started out with only a couple $1,000s, and at the end of the year, he ended up being kind of a big winner on the platform. He ended up with around $60,000 in cash and inventory, all from starting out with a few $1,000s. Okay, and then it's kind of like using that age-old adage of taking a penny and doubling it every single day. And the question is, would you rather accept $1 million in hand right now, or what if I gave you this magic penny, where each and every single day you could double it up? So today you get a penny, tomorrow you get 2 cents, and then the day after 4 cents. You just continue to double that up. Well, our friend A. Valentine had used the penny method and is paying off huge dividends, as now he's like a full-fledged dealer on the platform with a lot of great inventory and a lot of flexibility and freedom financially to make it all work, not only for his business but for life in general. And that's something that ultimately I want to see a lot of you thrive and do on your own. I could lead a lot of the collective hobby horses to the pond, but it's not me that's going to force you to drink the water. And I think the best that I could do is to educate and help you guys realize the market as it sits and its current form. And you guys just take that information and run with it. I know I don't usually construe everything I say as financial advice, but let this be a little bit of advice for not only exploding your hobby, whatever it may be, whether you're using coins as a platform to maybe kickstart or boost something else. Maybe you want to do comic books, or maybe you want to do, I don't know, building your own garage so that way you could customize hot rods. Whatever that is, this is going to be something that I think you could leverage in your life as a way of kind of getting that quick start money to do the things that you want to do on that next level. So that's what I wanted to talk about. Thank you guys again for all of your support through the years. 2023 was pretty amazing. And 2024 is going to be a banner year for everyone, myself included, and so will you. So with that being said, I'm going to leave it up to you guys to make your decisions and to go about your business and to break the mold. Break the mold, take the little pieces, throw in the trash, and really pursue something new. Something that at first seems a little bit uncomfortable, but when you get to doing it, it's a pretty great feeling. All right, you guys take care. Peace. Love you guys. Have a great weekend.